Enjoy the video. First things first, make sure your steering wheel is as straight as you can get it, and always disconnect the battery. Next, we will take a marker and we're going to mark the center point of the locking nut in relation to the steering wheel bracket. So I'll just make a line here. Okay, now we'll disconnect this white connector on the top of the clock spring. It has this little, what seems to be a grounding wire. We'll move that up and out of the way. And we will move these airbag connectors out of our way. And what you're going to do is take a 17mm and break this nut free. Now, in order to get the steering wheel off, we're going to leave that nut on slightly, and we're going to rock it back and forth. And as you can see, now it is loose. So now we could fully remove the 17mm nut, set it aside. Now we're just going to make sure when we pull the steering wheel off, we don't hit any of these wires. Whoop. Okay. Okay, steering wheel is now off. Now with the steering wheel out of the way, there are two Phillips head screws right here, holding the center console plastic in place. Remove one and two. And then just pull this lower portion down, and that will unclip it. And then pull it towards you to get it fully off. Okay, that lower portion is now gone. The upper portion will pop up, and we'll keep it in this position here. Next, we'll take off this connector, this white connector here, and this yellow connector. Okay. And then there is another white connector in the back here. The tab for this third white connector is actually facing the pedals. You press on it, and you could pull that connector free. Now, what's holding the clock spring in place is these two tabs down here on the bottom. What you'll do is pull them down. There's one on the driver's side and the passenger side, right and left. Pull them down, and you can pull this up, this entire assembly out. And there's also one at the top. Pull that up, and there you go. Clock spring comes out along with your steering position angle sensor. This is very delicate. Be very careful with what you have in your hands right now. We'll take it down to the bench, and we will swap over the steering position angle sensor to our new clock spring. Just so you get a good look of what's here. So there was a tab to pull up there, as well as one tab here, another tab here. And to get this connector off, you're going to have to reach around and press on this little tab in the bottom and pull it out. These three connectors attached to the steering position angle sensor and the clock spring. Oh wow, that's funny. It says Toyota. Thought I was driving a Subaru. Hey guys, welcome to the bench. Now this is where we do things that are very delicate. This is going to require some being very gentle and some good dexterity, because we need to transfer over this steering position angle sensor to our new clock spring. Okay guys, after a lot of fiddling around, I was doing this incorrectly. It's actually very easy to separate the steering position sensor from the clock spring. It's only held in by 3 clips. There's one down here, one on the opposite side, and one up there. You just need to just gently pry them open and shimmy out the sensor there, and now they are separated. Here's our new clock spring. Still has this green tab in place. It's brand new. And we're going to take our steering angle position sensor. Make sure these 2 tabs line up with the 2 tabs top and bottom on the clock spring. And we'll press it in. That's it. So it locked in there. It locked in here. It's nice and centered. Ready to go back into the vehicle. All right, guys, now we're back in the car. We're going to install our new clock spring. Now that the steering angle position sensor is attached to our new clock spring, it'll go right back on nice and smoothly. And it will clip into these lower clips on the bottom and this upper clip on top. There we go. Break off your green tab. You no longer need it locked in place anymore. I'll go get our steering wheel. Before we reinstall the steering wheel, let's put our connectors back in place. Okay, they're all secured. Reinstall the lower portion of your steering column. Click the 2 halves back together. Okay, like so. Line up your Phillips head holes here and drive in your Phillips head screws. Okay, now we can reinstall the steering wheel. Run your airbag connectors through the top portion of the steering wheel. Center it as best you can. It is splined, so it really can only go on one way. Reconnect that connector on the top. Get your 17mm nut. I got an old school torque wrench, so what I'm going to do is we'll get it as close as possible to 30 foot-pounds, and I'll be happy when my lines match up here that I marked previously. You're probably going to have to hold it with one hand. That looks to be about 30 foot-pounds right there. I'm going to go a little bit more just because I just feel like let's be safe and not have this steering wheel fly off while I'm on the highway. So the lines I made here on the nut and the steering wheel are not lined up perfectly, so I'm going to go just until they are lined up nice. Click. All right, my lines are perfectly lined up there. That was about 40 foot-pounds I put, so I don't see any harm in that. Now that should be it for the clock spring. When we reinstall the airbag, everything should be nice and set and ready to go.